Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. So today I wanted to do with you this natural makeup routine. So last week I did for you guys the no makeup routine. So that is what I would generally wear either to the gym or just like bumming around the house, that sort of thing. This is a little bit different. It's sort of just a little bit tweaked version of that to give a little bit more glow to the face, a little more definition to the eyes. This would be a very easy look for anybody to do. And so I wanted to do those two videos close to each other so that you could see the difference. And I hope you guys enjoy it. I will scooch the camera in closer and we'll get started. Okay, so I've got you guys scooched in nice and close, and so this will be similar to last week's video but slightly different. So I really wanted you guys to be able to see the difference between my no makeup look and my natural makeup routine. So I'm going in with my InstaReady face primer, Physicians Formula. I still haven't gone in to pick up the e.l.f. one that I like better. I just haven't had the time and I haven't had the money, so I'm making do with this one. It's not my favorite, but it is, however, a little bit more hydrating than the e.l.f. one, which is nice this time of year. So, and again, it's Monday, so I'm not working a 10-hour day. I don't need it to last all day. I actually have literally nothing to do today, so I'm just doing a makeup look to hang out at the house with the dog. So I really wanted to try and keep into this routine that I told you guys I was going to do. So far I haven't been super diligent about it. I have had some stuff going on out of my control, and such is life, right? So I've got my primer on. I'm going to go on with my Clinique Acne Solutions foundation in Fresh Ivory. Same as the last time. I literally always do primer and I always do foundation. So I'm just putting my globbies on again. I don't find this foundation works well with a beauty blender. I always either use my fingers or a brush. Since I got my e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush, I pretty much exclusively use that. Before that I had been using my fingers. I do find with this foundation that if you use a beauty blender, it absorbs so much of the foundation. Because the foundation's a little bit on the thicker side too, it just doesn't stamp on as well with the beauty blender. I find with the brush it really... I didn't put any foundation on my nose. I found with the brush it really moves it around without kind of holding too much of the foundation. I don't want to, it's not a cheap foundation. I don't want to lose a bunch of it in a sponge. So I do like the brush better. And I usually wash my brushes every couple of days, and then I give them a really good wash once a week or once every couple of weeks or something like that. So I do try to keep my brushes clean, especially these ones that you're using sort of all over your face. So I'm just blending that in all over, covering up all the crazy stuff. Apparently I just showed my naked face once in a video and now I'm just fine with it. I am who I am. If you guys are watching, hopefully you can relate to that sort of fear of showing yourself to the world, but I'm over it. And I do find since I started using this brush, I get way better coverage out of my foundation. I don't know why I would get better coverage with the brush than with my fingers, but either way, doesn't matter. It works. Works great. So I've got my foundation on. I'm going to just take my Tigi light concealer on a couple of spots that are still healing. And I'm going to go on with my Maybelline Age Rewind Dark Circle Corrector in Neutralizer. As always, you guys will see that I obviously have some favorite products. I'm not the type of person who has like 25 different concealers and like, you know, 10 different kinds of foundation. I'm the type, if I find something that works, that's what I use. Especially when you have acne prone skin, if you find something that doesn't break you out, it's like, okay, we're good. We'll stick with that until they stop making it. So I do really like this under eye concealer, and quite a few people I know watched my video where I talked about my top 10 cosmetics that I can't live without, and so many of my clients came in after that and said, oh my gosh, I picked it up and it's so good. And it's so funny because it actually has comparable coverage to like the Tarte Shape Tape. Like, it's got really good coverage. I always have to go in twice to my bags because I'm a very tired person. And, you know, everybody has eye bags, right? Okay, so I've got everything all nicely covered. Now I'm just going to go in with my e.l.f. HD setting powder, the under eye setting powder. It's just the sheer. I am planning on doing a video on baking, sort of the why, how, where type situation of why you would do it, where you would do it, when you would do it, that sort of thing. I have had that request, so I am sort of working on that. If that's something you guys would like to see, let me know in the comments below. I don't bake on a daily basis. That's something I would only do if I had a kind of a special event going on. That's just me. Some people do it all the time. I personally really like this setting powder. I find it's really nice, like finely milled. It doesn't grab in the creases, and it makes everything look a little more airbrushed. So I've just applied that under the eyes. I tried to be a little bit more organized this time and have everything sort of in front of me. Charlie, look. Can you guys see him? Oh, that's Mommy's boy. Yeah. He's just supervising. I drug his bed in because he was just kind of following me around the house, and I was getting set up to sort of film this, and I was like, well, maybe he wants to come hang out in the makeup room. Apparently he did. So I'm going in with my Physicians Formula Talc-Free Loose Powder in Buff Beige with my Kabuki brush. And I usually just stamp some on my forehead and then down onto my nose and buff it in. I am using a little bit more powder this time for the natural makeup as opposed to the no makeup makeup. And I really stamp it on my chin. If I was baking, I could just leave that to set for a while. I always put lots of powder on my chin because I do get very oily there, and that is where the majority of my blemishes and my acne scars are, so I always want to set that makeup really well so that it doesn't slide off throughout the day. So now I'm fully powdered. Look how crazy my brows look. Okay. So I'm all powdered up. So the next thing that I always do, so most people will do either brows or they'll do their brows at the end. I sort of do like a middle thing. I like to wear something shimmery underneath my brow bone just because I do find I have a small eye, and I find it helps to make the eye look a little bit larger and higher. So I'm going to go in with the L'Oreal Infallible Time Resist White. I really like this one. And I just take a small stiffer brush with this because they are the foil. Look, it's like almost gone. I really like this one. They're sort of more like a foiled eyeshadow, so I find them a little stiffer. So I always go in with a smaller, sort of stiffer brush, and I just highlight underneath the brow bone with that. And the reason I do this before I do my eyebrows is because otherwise I find I get those shimmery bits into the brow. And if I do this and then fill in my eyebrow, I don't get that, obviously. So then the brow looks a little bit more crisp. I like this one for my my natural makeup look because it's not blinding. It's just like a soft white shimmer. And I find it works really well for this. So now that that is on, I'll list everything below that I've used in case you see something that you like that you want to pick up. So then I'm going to fill my brows in the same way that I did in the no makeup routine, because I'm not going to go heavy on the eyeshadow and I'm not going to do any eyeliner or anything like that. I don't want it to look too penciled in, so I'm just going in with the Essence Blonde brow pencil, and I'm just filling everything in. I'll fill it in a little bit more than I did in the no makeup routine. I'm definitely going to add more on the tail. I did have microblading done quite a few times. It has since worn off, but it definitely does save you this step, especially when you're doing like your no makeup routine. Even with the microblading, I would still fill in my brows when I was doing like a high impact look, just because I like that really filled in look. But when I was doing either the no makeup or this natural makeup look with the microblading, I really didn't need to do anything because the shape was there. As you guys could see at the start, my eyebrows they have a lot of holes in them. I have a lot of hairs missing. Also, I'm blonde, so the brows tend to be light anyway. So even when I'm not doing much for makeup, I always still want to do a little fill in, just because I feel like it makes you look so much more youthful and so much more like it pulls everything together when you've got eyebrows. You know, if eyes are the window to the soul, then, you know, your eyebrows would be like a real nice set of curtains on that window. Really weird analogy. Eyebrows are important. That's the lesson here. So I'm just filling that in a little bit. A lot of people do that sort of faded eyebrow, like right at the first. I'm not into it. It looks really, really weird on me. So I just fill everything in. I don't know, sometimes I think maybe it's just that I have a small eye area. Some of those sort of trendy looks just end up looking a little bit strange on me. So that's the brows. Then I'm gonna go in with my eyeshadow primer. You could skip this step. I'm not going like crazy with eyeshadow. It's just because I am so oily. I always use an eyeshadow primer, and I find if I don't, the eyeshadow doesn't stick as well. Like, you don't get the same color impact out of your eyeshadow if you're not using an eyeshadow primer. So I always use one. It doesn't take very long to put it on, and I find if you use that, then you're not going to use as much of your eyeshadow, and it therefore becomes a little bit more cost effective because you're not dipping into that shadow palette over and over and over and over again. So I have a few different ones that I like. Right now I'm using the Too Faced Shadow Insurance. I'm like squeezing that tube. It's almost gone. I was to a Unique party a couple weeks ago, so I did order a Unique eyeshadow primer. I wanted to give that a try. The girl that was there was really nice, and I was at the party, and I wanted to buy something. So I got that because I did need eyeshadow primer, and I have heard good things about it. So I'll give that a whirl, and I'll let you guys know as soon as it comes in what it was like. So then I'm just going to I've got this really teeny tiny Urban Decay Urban Vices palette that I got a couple of years ago. And I'm just going to go in with the color Dope. It's just a shimmery, sort of peachy color. And I'm going to use this Tigi brush. It's called Sexy. It's sort of an angled brush. I like this one to sort of pack color onto the lid. So you remember, this is a natural makeup routine, right? So we're not going crazy. This is the look that you're going to use when you want to look put together. You want to look like you have something on your face, but you don't want to look dulled. So that's sort of like a typical, Monday, if I've got a fair amount of errands to run and some stuff to do. Sometimes I'll do the no makeup look, but I usually do that more for like the gym or kind of just farting around the house, that sort of thing. And then this is what I would typically wear when I'm kind of going out and about, but I'm not necessarily going to work. When I go to work, I go full glam. You guys have seen my videos. I always have like full lips, lots of eyeshadow, lots of eyeliner, all that good stuff. But this is sort of a toned down version of that. So I'm gonna take this Bio Elements brush. That's the skincare line that I carry at my salon, and this brush is called Stroke. So I'm just gonna take that same peachy color, and I'm just gonna bring it up and blend it into that Time Resist White in the L'Oreal that I used. I am going to go in and define the crease, but I wanted to apply this first so that the crease color doesn't grab too much. So I'm using this sort of as a lid and transition color. So the next one I'm going to go into where I define the crease. You sort of have two options for this. There's sort of two things that I do most often. So sometimes I'll just take my bronzer and I'll go into the crease in the same way that I'm going to show you. Today I'm going to go in with this MAC pink. I don't know, how do you take them out so you can see what they're called? Sorry guys, I don't know, I'm new at this, but I'm going to go in with this pink in my MAC palette, and I'm going to take just a fluffy dome brush. This is another Tigi brush, it's called VIP, and it's just a fluffy dome brush. I have a lot of Tigi brushes. I don't feel like I knew that until I started doing this. So I've put some on there and I've tapped off the excess, and I'm just going to go windshield wiper motions in the crease. So I'm not adding color per se, I'm adding definition. So depending upon your skin tone, you could use different colors for this. I'm super pale, so I'm using sort of a lighter pink, but I could sometimes also use my bronzer, like I said. If you were a darker complexion, you could obviously go a little bit darker with your color palette, but the trick is just to pick colors that look very natural and soft against your skin tone. So you can see the crease is defined, but it's not overly defined. So I'm just taking this brush, I'm going to blend that edge a little bit. Alright, and then I'm just going to dust off any fallout. So the last thing I'm going to do on the eyes is just mascara. I'm good with this. For me, this is a very natural sort of shimmery look. I like that. I'm going to go in with my L'Oreal Lash Paradise mascara, which is my new fave. I'm not going to put any mascara on my bottom lashes. That's just a personal preference. You guys can do whatever you feel looks natural on you. For me, because I'm so fair, when I put mascara on my bottom lashes without any eyeliner or eyeshadow down there, it just looks really strange. So if I'm doing a natural look or my no makeup routine, I generally will just put the mascara on the top. Now I've put a little bit more mascara than the last time, and I will do one more coat, but I am skipping eyeliner. So the next thing that I will do is a little bit of bronzer. And I'm going to use the bronzer that comes in my Smashbox contour palette. It's this middle one. I like it because it's not shimmery, and I'm just using a really fluffy face brush. This is a really old MAC one, and I'm just tapping off the excess, and I'm sort of going where you would put your contour without it being like a defined you know, contouring, obviously. So I'm just more adding a little bit of color to the face so I don't look quite so dead. Have I mentioned it's February in New Brunswick? We haven't seen the sun in so long. It's unreal. So we're all very pale. We use a little bronzer so we can kind of look alive again. And then I usually will do a little bit over my nose because that's where the sun would naturally hit you. So generally with bronzer, you want to apply it where the sun would hit you, so across the forehead, sort of on the temples, a little bit on the cheek area, and then on the nose. Now, some people will also do the chin. I don't, just because of all the like acne scarring and stuff. I just find it brings it out, makes it look a little muddy down there. So then the next thing would be a blush. I'm gonna go in with this e.l.f. palette. I believe this is the, yeah, this is the blush palette in light. So there's 4 colors. And what I actually like to do, I find this one a little too peachy pink and this too brown, so I just mix them together. So I put like a little bit and a little bit, and I kind of do the weird smile. And just on like the apples of my cheeks. Just to bring some color into the face. I have so many clients that are like, oh, I never wear blush. I'm like, oh my gosh, put blush on. It makes you look like you're living. It really does make a difference. I think some people get confused because maybe they have some redness that they like to cover, and so then it doesn't make sense to them to then add more pink or red to the face, but in reality, if you've covered up redness and you add some pink, usually the redness is here, so if you add some pink here, it actually takes away from that redness and focuses the eye more over here. So then the next thing is just a little bit of highlighter, and then I'm gonna do a little more mascara and some lip gloss. Sometimes I would do like a lip sense or a lipstick or something with this look, but because I'm not going anywhere, I'm gonna stick to lip gloss today. So for my highlight, what do I want to use? For my highlight, I'm going to use the L'Oreal Lumi True Match. Now, they've just since reformulated and repackaged all of these. I haven't tried the new ones, but I do love this. I use it all the time. I like it. It's a very natural, soft highlight. It's not like a blinding highlight. Like if you went in with the Mary Luminizer from the Bomb Cosmetics, that is a blinding highlight. This one's really soft, and I mix all 4 colors onto my brush and then tap off the excess. Then I just add a little bit here, kind of up into that area, and I blend it down into my blush. Same on the other side. Do you guys find my hairs in my way in my videos? Would you prefer if I tied it up for the makeup videos? Let me know in the comments. And then I just do a little bit on the nose, a little bit on the Cupid's bow, and I do a little bit right here. I don't know why, I just like it there. So I'm going to do another coat of mascara just to make sure I've got lots of definition around the eyes without having to do a bunch of eyeliner or dark eyeshadow or anything like that. So if you are a natural beauty and you don't like to wear a lot of makeup, this could be a very easy going to work look for a lot of people. For me, of course, working in the beauty, sorry guys, I hit the camera every time. Myself working in the beauty industry, obviously I glam up big time for work. However, that's not the norm for most people. What is wrong with this thing? There. That's not the norm for most people. Most people are wearing probably about this much makeup to work and a little bit of lipstick, if that. Some people don't wear any. So I realized that my typical work makeup routine is not typical for most people. So if you like this look, this might be a good help for you as far as an easy way to do a full face for work without going too overboard. So I'm gonna grab a lip gloss. Such a big decision. There's a few options here. I think I'm just gonna go in with the, actually I think I'm just gonna go in with the NYX Butter Gloss that I talked about in my most recent drugstore products video. I'll link that below. So this was the NYX Butter Gloss in Eclaire. I actually don't think I put it on for you guys in that video. I think I had lip sense on, so at least you'll see me putting it on. So it's pink, but it's not like crazy pink. It picks up a lot more pink on camera than it looks in person. Because I do wear this quite often at the gym because it is really hydrating. It feels so nice on the lips. Oh man, I'm gonna get better at this, you guys. I'm sorry, I'm gonna stop hitting that. So it does pick up a little bit more pink on camera than it looks in person. In person, it actually looks really natural. So this is the natural makeup routine that I like to do on a Monday for running errands, or on a Saturday if I was going to have lunch with my husband or something like that, something where I don't need to be super, super dolled. So this is the look. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing the difference between this and the no makeup routine. If you like this, hit that thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe. If you'd like to see more videos like this, or you have ideas for different videos similar to this, please leave comments below. I am working on a few different videos that have been requested, so I definitely do take those requests into consideration. Do you guys want to see Charlie one last time? There's the little guy. Hi, boy. You're not even gonna lift your head. Okay, have a good little sleep there. Yeah, he's a very laid back little guy, so this is a typical Monday for Charlie. So I hope you guys like this, and if you haven't already subscribed, please do so, and I will see you guys on Wednesday with a nail video. Thanks, bye.